The music is still playing. But the man behind it is packing up. André Rieu. The man who made millions of strangers hold hands in concert halls. Who turned waltzes into sold-out stadiums. Who built an entire career on the idea that joy could be manufactured if you just played the right song at the right time. He didn't just conduct music. He conducted emotion. And now, he's saying goodbye. Not because he lost the music, but because the body that carried it started giving out. Heart surgery. Spinal issues. The kind of physical toll that comes from decades of standing on stage, waving a baton, smiling through pain that the audience was never supposed to see. He said it himself. Not dramatically. Not with regret. Just, with the quiet honesty of someone who has given everything he had left to give. And there's nothing left for the stage. Because here's the thing about André Rieu that most people didn't realize. He wasn't performing for applause. He was performing for the feeling he got when an entire room of strangers felt something together. And that feeling takes energy. The kind of energy that doesn't come back once it's gone. His wife of decades, Mika, was the quiet anchor behind the spectacle. She didn't seek the spotlight. She didn't need it. She was just there. Consistent. Present. The person who knew what he looked like when the music stopped. And when you spend your life creating joy for other people, having someone at home who remembers the real you, is the only thing that keeps you grounded. But time moves forward. For everyone. Even for the man who made it feel like it could dance. He has spoken about aging. About the physical reality of a body that has spent decades performing at a level that most people can't sustain for a single night, let alone thousands. It wasn't one moment that made him say goodbye. It was 1,000 small ones. The morning after a concert when he couldn't get out of bed. The rehearsal when his arm didn't move the way it used to. The flight home when he realized he was tired in a way that sleep couldn't fix. And he made a decision that most people wouldn't have the courage to make. To stop, before the music stopped being good. To leave, while people still wanted him there. Not to wait until the applause turned to polite silence. That's the sad reason. Not illness. Not scandal. Not a dramatic fall from grace. Just a man who loved something enough to know when it was time to let it go. And maybe that's the most honest goodbye in the history of live music. Because most performers stay too long. They chase the feeling. They hope the next show will bring it back. They wait until the room is half empty and the reviews are cruel. André Rieu is walking away from a full room. And that takes a kind of courage that has nothing to do with music. He built an empire of joy. A brand built on waltzes, flowers, and the idea that happiness could be bought with a concert ticket. But behind the empire was a man who spent his life giving other people something he couldn't always feel himself. And now, he's going home. To a life that doesn't require a tuxedo. To a silence he's earned. To a version of himself that hasn't been seen in public for decades. The one that exists when the baton comes down. If these stories move you, the quiet endings behind the legendary lives, hit subscribe. Because the people who brought us joy deserve to be honored when they rest.